Hey y'all, welcome back to Homemade Simple. I am really glad that you're here today. I'm excited about this video. I have a table and chair full of ideas for us to give heartfelt gifts. I'm pretty sure nobody in the world needs another TV. So we're going to throw away all of the Black Friday ads and we're going to replace those with gift ideas that are really from our heart and are opportunities to show our love for our loved ones instead of just checking off a box. Get you some coffee or some hot tea and let's get started with our gift ideas. Start with handmade or homemade gifts on our gift giving list. I put together some homemade candy and I bought, actually this jar I bought at the thrift store, and I bought a little ornament and some ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I just thought that this would be such a simple but meaningful gift if we made some handmade goodies and decorated the container and then gave that to someone that we love and care about. Also, I wrote the recipe down on a recipe card, and so we could tie that on to the jar, and then we could give them a piece of our time and a piece of our effort. And I think those kinds of gifts really go a long way. We put thoughtfulness and time and effort into a gift that we wanted to give them because we love them and they're special to us. This is something that I did for Chris a few years ago, and he actually has this in his desk. It's there all the time for him to open it up and look at them. I took just a plain deck of cards and I cut out some little pieces of construction paper and I hand wrote 52 things that I love about him. If you can buy a deck of cards at the Dollar Tree or at Walmart and you can take the time to think of 52 very special and memorable things about your loved one, don't you think that they would appreciate that so much? Our daughter has also put together a mason jar with handwritten messages for each day of the year. And so you pick one out every day and read it. Isn't that touching? Isn't that meaningful and memorable? Wouldn't that be so much better than opening up a video game or a sweater that we really do not need? I think those kinds of messages from the heart are really special and really lasting. Going along with the handwritten gifts, this is a gift that my mom gave me when I got married. It is a recipe book full of recipes that she made when I was little, and they are handwritten in her handwriting. This is one of my prized possessions. I love this cookbook. I treasure this cookbook. This is a really special and meaningful gift. You can even take one of these spiral bound index cards, folders, and make your own cover for it and then give that as a gift. These are very inexpensive, but they're also just the perfect size for a recipe. It doesn't have to be a $20 book. It can be a book from the Dollar Tree that you take the time to write down your recipes that you like and that your family loves and share them with someone else. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I haven't done it until now. I have some homegrown rosemary that I went and picked this morning. I rinsed it off and I got this oil container. I'm sure there's a name for this, but I got this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I got this organic olive oil from Aldi. You can go all out finding olive oil. Don't get the cheapest kind, but you don't have to get the most expensive kind either. I just went with the organic. I know that this tastes good. It's not the best in the world, but it is a lot better than the cheap yellowy clear kind of olive oil. So pay a little more to get nice olive oil, and then we're just gonna throw some rosemary leaves into the bottle and pour this until it's full. This is going to make rosemary infused olive oil. Just put the lid back on. Isn't that beautiful? It just looks elegant. This cost $1.25 for the glass container. The oil was $5, but it's only half gone, half used. So for a lot less than $5, you can make such a beautiful gift, but a gift that's not just going to take up space, but is going to be useful for the person that you give it to. The next idea I wanted to share with you might be a little controversial, but I want you to stick with me and listen to my thought process. So I feel like we should get rid of the feeling that we have to buy something brand new for people in order for our gifts to be valuable or meaningful or worthwhile. So what if we went to the thrift store, went to some estate sales, went to some yard sales, and tried to find meaningful, beautiful, lovely gifts for the people on our list without spending $50 to $100 for each person. I know that it might feel weird to give a used gift, but I have a couple of things that I have purchased. I have gotten these in the very recent past. So the last week or so, I have been to the thrift store a couple of times knowing that this video was coming, trying to find some ideas that were meaningful and useful. And I came across these 4 items. I thought I would share them with you just to get the gears rolling in your mind, and you could take it and run with it for whatever's available in your area. So number 1, I found this salt container. I think it's called a salt pig. Why is it called a salt pig? I have no idea. But I looked this up on Amazon. This was a $25 to $30 item. Whenever I bought it, it had a price tag of $17, but that was a clearance tag. So somebody had spent at least $17. I got it half price at the thrift store, so it was $2.50. You cannot tell that this has been used ever. And so what if you gave this gift and filled it up with some special seasoned salt that you have made? You would have less than $5 in the gift, but it would be a useful, meaningful gift. Not to add clutter, because everybody uses salt when they cook unless they have some kind of dietary restrictions. I mean, this would look perfect and beautiful in any kind of kitchen. Also, I came across this beautiful hand-painted fruit bowl. It was $4.99, maybe $5.99, so $6 or so. And I mean, this is gorgeous. Can you imagine how much this would cost in a retail or a boutique store? This would at least be $40, but I spent $6, and I have the exact same thing. I would be happy to give this to someone with fresh fruit, and they're able to use the bowl over and over again, and every time they see their family getting fruit from this basket, they can think, wow, that was such a thoughtful gift. I'm so thankful that she thought of me and gave me that. And I got it at the thrift store. Because my channel name is Homemade Simple, I sort of look for things like this. This says Simply Blessed. This was $3 at the thrift store, probably $30 at the retail store where it came from originally, and nobody would know whether or not I got this at the original boutique store or if I bought this at the thrift store. Unless I tell them, nobody is gonna know. See, it still even has the price tag on it. The last thing that I got at the thrift store recently was this giving plate. Is this out of style now? I don't know, but I think it's beautiful. It's still in the original box. You make cookies or some kind of goodie and give it to someone, and then they are able to make something homemade and give it to a neighbor or a friend or a church member. Wouldn't this be fun to just have in your family, going from house to house to house, and not only do you get to share a homemade batch of cookies with your family, but you also, when you deliver it, get to share a piece of your time with them as well. This giving plate, I think, is a really meaningful gift. I looked it up on Amazon. This company has plates very similar to this exact one for $40 on Amazon. I paid $4, and I love it. And this is something that I want to do with my family. I think this is a very meaningful gift. I didn't go with the intention of buying a giving plate, but I did go with the intention of finding a good, meaningful gift. And I was able to find these just within the last week. If you go to the thrift store every other week for a couple of months, you can mark everybody off of your list. And it just takes a little bit of time, and it takes a little bit of forethought for you to purchase something that is secondhand. But no one would ever know that any 4 of these gifts were secondhand gifts. If I have a book that I have read and it was meaningful to me and it was helpful to me, then I think it should be perfectly acceptable and normalized for me to take that book that I have used and loved and gift it to someone else. There are several books like that in my library. A couple of the books that I would be very happy to give to someone as a gift would be any book by C.S. Lewis. The Screwtape Letters is a very good book. You can tell that it's obviously old. It smells old. Does anyone else have to smell an old book whenever they see it? I just love the smell of old books. They just smell like wisdom. This book is really good, The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. It is a very interesting book to help build your faith. These are 2 books that I'm reading right now. The Best Yes by Lisa Turkhurst. She has written this book to try to help moms who are overwhelmed with all of the inputs of requests for our time and our energy. And she makes a lot of good points about things to think about when we are approached with a request to do a certain thing. In this book, she appeals for us to make the best decisions and say yes to the best opportunities. So this is a really good book. I'm enjoying reading it. I'm reading Growing in Godliness by Lindsay Carlson. I'm reading that right now with my girls. I don't agree with everything she says in it, but I do think that it is a really helpful and useful book. Another used book that I love that I found at a used bookstore is this book right here. What I absolutely love about this book is the original wrapping from when this young boy gave it to his mom. It's still in the wrapping paper. This is copyrighted 1923, so it's 100 years old, and I love it. I think old books like this have such value. This cost me $5. It was $5 well spent. To give a gift like this is to give meaning to something that someone saved from being thrown away or destroyed, and I think it's meaningful for us to give new life to old things. So don't discount giving old books to your friends. Any kind of financial book that encourages people to stay away from debt, I think that would be a good and useful, meaningful book. If you have read it and you found use in it, to re-gift it to someone else. I don't think that's cheap. I think that is bringing meaning to something that would sit on a shelf otherwise. And you can write a special note. This is how this book helped me, and I feel like at your stage in life this can be so helpful to you. The More of Less by Joshua Becker is a really good book. I've read this book. It helped me. One other section about book-ish kinds of things are things that your family can fill out. So this book right here is 1 line a day, and it's got every day of the year, and then it also has places for each year. So this book, you fill it out every day for 5 years, and then you have special memories, events for half a decade. That's in just this little bitty book. So this is a special gift, 1 line a day. This is a book that we purchased at Michael's. It is a mother-daughter book. So it's got writing prompts in it. So the mother writes this page to the child, and the child writes this page to the mother. So that is a really meaningful gift that you can give to your mom or daughter. Lastly, this Susan Branch book is called Days from the Heart of the Home, and it is sort of like the 5-year 1 line a day book, but this goes through 1 year, and it just gives an opportunity to write down your thoughts, memories, events, messages for each day of the year. And wouldn't that be a special gift to give someone? Whether you give it to them to fill out, or you get it yourself this year and you fill it out and give it to them later on, wouldn't it be just something beautiful as a gift that keeps giving? Maybe you can write different encouraging messages and recipes, just different things that you could share with your friends and family that would make their life more meaningful and bring you into their life on a regular basis. That would be a special gift if I was to get that, and I think that it would be beautiful for anyone, especially to people who are trying to minimize their possessions. They will appreciate so much the effort and thought that you put into giving them a meaningful gift that's not going to add to their clutter. Did you know that Dollar Tree sells essential oil diffusers? I didn't know that until yesterday, but I was walking down the aisle and they have an essential oil battery operated diffuser for $1.25. This is such a great time to live. So if you have someone in your friend or family group who really appreciates natural living and holistic living, then essential oils are a really great option. I really like to shop Eden's Garden. They are not a multi-level marketing essential oil company, so their prices are a lot more affordable than, say, Young Living, but the quality is still superb and they are still really trustworthy. They are focused on testing and making sure that they always have high quality ingredients and products. So I would highly recommend that you check out Eden's Garden for essential oil gifts. They have gift sets, or they have individual oils that you can purchase. Did you know that you could buy frankincense and myrrh essential oils? I think it's neat just to know the Bible story and to be able to see and smell what those oils were that are spoken about in the New Testament. So this is something that I think would be fun to add to anybody's essential oil collection. Eucalyptus is also a really good essential oil because flu season, cold season, this is really helps with respiratory. Thieves is another really good oil to add. Tea tree, I actually bought this humongous bottle of tea tree oil at Walmart. So it's not going to be highest of quality, but it's going to, this I think was $10 for 4 ounces. Tea tree oil is the best cleaner that you can find. So any time that you're thinking about buying an essential oil, this is a really good place to start. It's good for medicinal purposes, it's good for cleaning purposes, it's good for wounds. Tea tree is really good. And these last ones are some blends that I actually picked up at our local family-owned pharmacy. One is Happiness. It smells really good, and it does sort of bring out just a relaxed and joyful feeling when you smell it. So I know that might sound sort of ridiculous, but I think there are some chemical reactions that go on in our brain when we smell certain essential oils, and this one does a good job of sort of lifting the spirits. This one is called Balancing, and it has a calming effect whenever it is diffused. I also sometimes use these, just put a little behind my ear as a perfume. Really good options for natural and safe and effective body sprays or pillow sprays, or to diffuse in the air. So if you have someone in your family who is trying to go more natural and get away from all of the chemicals and stuff like that that we find so often in the stores, then these essential oils are good ways to go. We are almost done. Who doesn't want a houseplant? If you gave someone a houseplant like this, I mean, it would probably cost less than $10. They would, their air would be cleaner in their house. They would think of you whenever they watered it. This is a plant that my friend gave me, and she just hand wrote Proverbs 18:24 on a little wooden stick and put it in there and gave this to me. And I think of her often whenever I see this plant. It makes me think of her, and it makes me happy, and it makes me smile when I see this gift that she gave me. Was this an extravagant gift? No, it wasn't. But was it meaningful? That's what we're going for. Meaningful gifts that really do mean something to the people that we give them to. It represents her and our friendship. Those are the kinds of gifts that we want to give. We want people to think, you know what, that was so considerate. That was so thoughtful. That was so meaningful. We don't want people to think, wow, that was so expensive. Think about how much money they spent on that. Nobody cares about that in 5 years. Nobody. But if I can keep this little thing alive for 5 years, the amount of joy that I have received from this one gift will be immeasurable. Can I recommend that you give someone a potted rosemary plant? Rosemary is so beautiful. It's so simple. It is so fragrant and calming. Whenever I'm stressed out, I can just rub this rosemary plant, and the scent will come out, and it's just a calming smell. I don't know. I feel like everybody needs a rosemary plant in their home. You can cook with it. You can clean with it. You can put it in some olive oil and make fancy olive oil for people. I just think that the simplicity of it is so beautiful, especially in a white planter like this. I put it on my windowsill, and I look at it every day, and it just brings me joy. Give somebody a $5 rosemary plant. They will be thrilled. Last but not least, what if you gave someone a sweet canvas? We got this off of the internet. canvasdiscount.com, I think, is where this came from. This was just a few dollars. They're very affordable. Picture gifts are so meaningful and so special, especially for grandparents. They will love a gift like this. Walgreens also has these wood photo boards. I got this totally free. This is a special memory when we first purchased our land that we're living on now, and I have this up in my house. I look at it all the time and it brings me total joy, but it didn't cost me anything. It just sits there and makes me think of a wonderful day in our family's life. And so these kinds of meaningful gifts don't have to cost anything. They can be totally free. But I think if we change the way we think about gift giving and we start to think more about meaning and value and less about cost and expectations, that we can give meaningful and important gifts to the people that we love without overwhelming our budget and without overwhelming their home with things that they really don't want or really don't need. I hope that today's video has been helpful to you. It's been helpful to me just to talk through these kinds of things and think about what is most important and beneficial in this gift giving season. I know that you have some wonderful ideas to add to this video, so if you do not mind taking a minute and sharing all of your great ideas with us in the comment section below, I really would appreciate your time doing that. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I hope that you will join our community by subscribing. And when you subscribe, you can click on that bell icon and get all the notifications of all the new videos coming out. Check out some other videos in the previously uploaded video section. I think that some of them will be helpful for you as well. I am really glad that you're here today. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I love you, and I will see you again next time.